Hi everybody and welcome back to the Toon Review for the latest Newcastle United news. My name is Paul, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, the build-up to the Carabao Cup Final has officially started after we took the 3 points at the London Stadium last night. It wasn't the best of games, was it? It was quite poor. But listen, all we needed to do last night was win the game and get a bit of good feeling going into the Cup Final on Sunday. And that's exactly what we did. You saw that with the players' reactions at the end of the game. You know, Joe Linton and Bruno singing with the fans about Tell Me Ma. Absolutely amazing to see. And that just tells you how fired up the players are ahead of this huge game against Liverpool. Last night, we'll talk about again tonight in the review. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, 7 o'clock tonight, don't miss it. We'll give you our play ratings and we'll look at all the talking points from the game. But I wanted to do this video today because Bruno has made a statement which should really get everybody going. He has come out and said that this Cup Final for Newcastle United is their World Cup Final. It's a huge statement by Bruno. It's exactly how we want the players to be feeling ahead of this game. It is massive for this football club. Let's make no bones about it. We haven't won a domestic trophy for 70 years now. It's a crime. It's criminal for how long we haven't won a domestic trophy. And this is our big opportunity. Now, a lot of people have already written us off, of course, because of the injury to Lewis Hall, the suspension of Anthony Gordon, of course, Botman not available either. But there's still something in the back of my mind says that, you know, the players that we will have available for this game, you know, we've got some big game players here who, yes, they need to step up on the big occasion. And I believe they can. I really do believe they can. You know, Bruno calling it a World Cup final just shows you what this means to these players. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. It's massive to the fans. It's massive to everybody. And you know what? The Carabao Cup's been written off a lot in the past. I think a lot more teams now, since a European place was introduced into the competition, it's taken a lot more seriously now. Yes, the early rounds, you'll see a lot of teams changing practically the whole 11 and things like that against the lesser teams, I guess. But once you get it through a couple of rounds, you know, the fact is Wembley is calling. And it's called us twice now in 3 seasons. This is a big opportunity for the club. Now, yes, Liverpool, fantastic side and everything like that. But we have to concentrate on ourselves ahead of this game. We have to really put our minds to the job. And we have to have that work rate matched with whatever Liverpool turn up with. We have to match them for that. Now, they do have better players than us. The top of the league, the miles ahead. Of course they do. However, we do have some game changers who are still available for Newcastle United. And I generally think that's what, you know, Bruno is talking about, to be honest. He's talking about the game changers that are available. Now, he spoke to Sky after the game last night and said that it was a massive win and we want to fight for the Champions League again. It's a big win for us and great to keep a clean sheet and get the confidence back before the final. And this is exactly what I was talking about in the lead up to the West Ham game. It was getting a bit of confidence back in that side before going to Wembley. I think it was massive for us. It really doesn't matter how we won the game or what the game was like. You know, you'll not look back at that. What you will look back and say is, yeah, we went to the London Stadium and we got another 3 points in the Premier League. It's took us to 6th in the table and the confidence is there again. It's great to hear your captain come out and say the confidence is back. It's a massive win and happy for the team's performance. When we play like that, we show the character of the team. We can beat any team in the world. We just have to be consistent. Now, that's massive from Bruno. That is huge coming out and making a statement like that, saying we can beat any team in the world. I think he's, you know, a little overconfident with that statement because I don't think we can beat every team in the world. However, on our day, we know we can perform. And I think that's more what Bruno's alluding to. And he's trying to get his teammates certainly fired up and believe in themselves. And for me, that's really good captaincy. I know he's had his criticisms about being captain this season. But for me, statements like that are a very, very good statement to make. Because it shows you that the captain has real confidence in his teammates and that he's getting them fired up ahead of the cup final. And for me, you can't take that away. It's really, really important. He says, we kept the clean sheet. We could have scored more goals, but the most important thing was the 3 points. Now, he also spoke about playing further forward in his new role, and he said, the gaffer has given me more freedom to be in the box. Today it was a good goal. We worked that hard, and we have seen videos of them struggling with some crosses. Well, it worked a treat, didn't it? Lovely ball in from Harvey Barnes. And a really simple finish for Bruno, but it was a lovely move. The cross was perfection, wasn't it? Right on his foot, and he couldn't really miss from there. Now, when he's talking about the cup final, he said, I think it's massive for the club's history, and we want to be part of it. We know we are going to play against one of the best teams. Hopefully, we can go to Wembley and win the League Cup. Now, when you hear him say it's massive for the club's history and we want to be part of that, that indicates to me that the players themselves know that they have a chance of becoming legends at this football club. By winning this first domestic trophy in 70 years, these players, they are now believing in themselves and realise what they could do should they win the Carabao Cup. Now, is it the lesser of the domestic trophies? Yes. But it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit about that? What you want to do is win a cup final, win some silverware. It's been so long. And given that Bruno, he knows the history of the club, but he wants to be part of that history now by etching themselves into legend status by winning this trophy. And they would. We know they would. These players, if they win a cup with Newcastle United, they will never be forgotten. Neither will Eddie Howe. And he's took his critics this season. But, he could end up being that manager who has, after all the managers that we've had in the past 70 years, he will be the first to win a domestic trophy in that time frame. And no one will be able to take that away from him. Because anybody criticise him, they'll just turn and say, well, hey, he was the first man that won us a trophy in 70 years. And for me, that's outstanding. Now, this is interesting. He said, we have seen people, the doubters. We are focusing on ourselves. Missing Anthony Gordon, Lewis Hall and Sven Botman is not good for us, but we have players who can play well. We showed against West Ham we have a strong squad. I believe that we can win a final. Everything could happen. So he's basically saying at a final that anything can happen, but despite, like I just said earlier on in the video, missing those three players, there's still players there. And this is all about Bruno being captain and making sure that he puts across to those players in the media that he really believes in them and that the whole team can galvanise from that. And I think it's a fantastic statement for Bruno to make. He then went on to say, I would believe our fans can make a difference for us. For us, it's like the World Cup. We want to make history for this club. It's a long time for the fans without a trophy. Isak at the moment is the best striker in the world. Our midfield has been our strength. I mean, the things he's saying there, the fans can make a difference. Of course the fans can make a difference. We know damn well they can make a difference. And, the fans at Wembley have a massive part to play. Especially, if things don't go our way and we fall behind, we've got to galvanise these players. Tell the players that we still believe in them so that nobody drops their heads. There's all sorts of factors that could happen in a cup final, but they need the support. Whether it be in Wembley Stadium or around the world where everybody, Newcastle United fans are watching it, it doesn't matter. We are all still there in spirit, even if we're not in the stadium. And I think it's massive. And calling it a World Cup for Bruno, this is how much it means to these players. And hopefully all the players pick up on the vibe that Bruno's given and they can, perform. Because it's a huge game. Biggest. And I genuinely think we still have an opportunity. I mean, I may be pie in the sky with that. I don't know. We'll see on Sunday. But anything can happen in a cup final. And what's the point of going into a cup final? I think you're going to lose. It's pointless. Why bother turning up? I think we have to turn around the negatives that so many people are against us for this game. Not against us, but writing us off because of the injuries. I think actually a lot of the football world in this wants us to win this trophy and beat Liverpool. So, we've got to go for it. We just got to go for it. Now, Eddie Howe has started mind games ahead of the cup final. Now, the main thing that I think is sort of a bigger question than the goalkeeper at the minute is who does he start on the left-hand side? Now, of course, Harvey Barnes started there last night against West Ham. Did really well. Could have scored 2 goals if it wasn't for 2 fantastic saves by Areola. And, he did okay. He did slide away again in the second half. But that was after, he created a beautiful, beautiful goal for Bruno. And, the more consistent Harvey Barnes gets, I think the better he'll play. Is he the answer? Is he the £40 million player? I don't think he is. But listen, Harvey Barnes can only do what he can when he goes on the pitch, as long as the mental attitude is there. And I don't think we've always seen the mental attitude from Harvey Barnes. And this has been my problem with him throughout since he came to Newcastle. He's capable of some wonderful stuff. We've seen him score amazing goals. We saw him create a brilliant goal last night. And that's what he's capable of. But we just don't get to see it enough. Now, the question for Eddie Howe on Sunday is, who does he play on the left side? Does he go with Harvey Barnes again, or does he go with Willock and Joe Linton, who we know have done so well in the past? The previous time we got to Wembley, of course, they had a wonderful time on that left-hand side. Does he do that again, or does he go with Harvey Barnes? This is a question that only Eddie will be able to answer. He's not going to tell us until the team news comes out on Sunday, of course. But a lot of pundits are hinting towards Willock and Joe Linton. Jamie Carragher said on Sky Sports last night after the game that he believes that it will go with Willock and Joe Linton on the left and not Harvey Barnes. But we know that Eddie's very, very careful with what he says. He doesn't give anything away. I mean, he said last night, he says, I'm pleased with all the players on our new look left-hand side. With Tino and Harvey, they did really well together, so that should give us great confidence going into the weekend. So he's not giving anything away, and he won't give anything away. I think the problem was last night, Tino didn't play too badly, but I think, and a lot of, I've seen journalists agree with this, is that he gets to a certain point and he turns back. He just doesn't seem to have that confidence. And then a couple of times he did get to the byline last night, tried crossing with his left foot, it just wasn't possible. And that's where we miss a guy who can, swing it in with his left foot. And Joe Linton and Willock, they're not left-footed players, but they can pass with their left foot. But I think Harvey Barnes was having to cut inside a lot more last night because, trying to play Livramento in didn't work. And Livramento seems to lose confidence when he gets to the final third of the pitch. I don't know why, because he can take players on. We've seen him do it in his early career at Newcastle. We've seen him do it multiple times. However, it seems like this season especially, he brings the ball out a lot and he hangs onto it too long and loses it. Or, like last night, we just didn't have the delivery from the left-hand side, and that was a problem. That is why I think he will go with Willock and Joe Linton. I think he'll do that, which I think is harsh on Harvey Barnes, given he set the goal up last night, could have scored 2 goals himself. So Eddie has a real difficult decision to make. And, of course, the goalkeeping one, we'll speak about that closer to the time. But there you go, guys. That is the latest news. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, as usual, please give it a thumbs up. Very important to the channel. And also, if you are new and you like what you see on the Toon Review, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Come and be part of this absolutely fantastic community that we are rapidly growing here on the channel. But thank you very much for watching. As I said earlier, if you're watching this on Tuesday, please do tune in tonight at 7 o'clock live. We do have the full match review. We'll talk about all the big talking points from the match and give you our player ratings. But in the meantime, have a great day, folks. See you soon. Take care.